Monday on a Thursday, and something about Thursdays are just bloody as hell last 2
I don't
weeks.
know. I've been watching this whole week and it's been rough, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
from start to finish, it's been a long week. So on the at least on the commodity side, long isn't like not good. Like isn't every time I look up, it's bleeding. Copper, especially, man. I saw copper's down like a dime this morning.
Yeah.
So we did talk about this a while back. I said I think it hits 4 before it hits 5. I hope I'm not right, but it feels like that's the trend right now as it's headed back towards $4.
It's definitely closer to 4 than 5 today. We saw some dips last week, but we saw it kind of rebound into the week. It's Thursday today. Obviously, it doesn't feel like they're going to see a rebound this week, but tomorrow's a new day. We play it day by day. Really, that's all we really can do. And
All we can do, one day at a time. I mean, everything's soft though. I mean, aluminum's soft too.
yep.
Nickel's taking its turn in the barrel as well. So I mean, everybody's getting their beating. Nobody's being left out of this deal.
No. You know what's driving? What do you think is driving it? Do you have any?
You know, my thing is it's summertime. This is usually time when commodities are, they soften up. Even on the ferrous side, it softens up. Um, but I genuinely think, I mean, China's still struggling. They're a big consumer of everything metal. So their economy's struggling. I mean, I think the U.S. economy, you can feel it slowing down. Things are slowing down. I think just in general, I mean, we've been at such a clip for so long that that finally the commodities are I think taking a breather. But you've got an election year to add on to that, and I think it's just a combination of a lot of things.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where the rest of this year takes us. It's definitely hot over here in Idaho. It's hot in a lot of areas. We've
I'm
been
in
in.
Vegas and it was 113 driving in here yesterday or something like that. I was like, oh my goodness, cook
Yeah,
the tires.
I think we're gonna be at 105 today, 104 today, something
Yeah,
like that today and tomorrow. And that's just it's been that way for a week plus now, and the forecast for 10 days out is still 100 plus. So that just makes it tough on the yard. Not even talking about commodities, keeping your equipment going, keeping your guys hydrated. It just makes it
yeah.
tough all around. So that on top of just shitty markets, makes it
It
feel
makes
a
it.
lot hotter.
It's not as fun to get out of bed and go to work when it's 100 and something degrees. Top that off with every time you look up, the markets are on the downhill side. But I think that's just the way that the thing goes. You can't get too high, you can't get too low. I think you got to kind of just ride the middle and just kind of keep putting your one foot in front of the other. I mean, I do think we've always said like 430 copper is still good copper price. I mean, it's not $5, but I mean, shit at 430 is still a good. That the math still makes sense. It's still good.
Yeah, we would have prayed. We were praying for 430 a few years ago. We
Yeah,
never thought we'd see 430 a few years
and
back.
and granted, there's been a lot of inflation. The
Yeah,
dollar's climbed a little bit, so I mean, I can understand that. 430 today isn't what it wasn't 430 5 years ago or 6 years ago, but it's still 430 and still $4 copper, and you can still, if you're buying it right, I mean, you can still make some money. I think the ferrous side's probably the most challenging part. I mean, I feel sorry for these shredders, right? I mean, we saw Portland Schnitzer Radius had a fire yesterday. Um, our buddy Kenny Daniele a month or so ago had a fire. I mean, these shredders. I mean, this heat just. I mean, between all the batteries in the shreddable stuff and the heat combined with, I mean, everything they got going on, you can see why those guys want to shred to the ground every chance they get, right? Just to kind of try and eliminate some of that pile fire potential.
yeah. We live in an era where everything's got a screen, everything's got a battery in it. A lot of these manufacturers didn't think about us when they made them. Like, what's going to happen to this? this washing machine that's got a LED screen with a backup lithium ion on it to give it the juice.
Yeah,
And you're seeing a lot of havoc from it. So yeah, like you said, those shredders, and you just got to have some really good operators on the ground that try to catch all that stuff, and that makes it even harder to do what we're doing.
it
But
does.
you just adapt, you adjust. It's just like anything. So
I mean, we always have the beautiful thing about Idaho is we get 4 seasons, right? And we'll probably get a month or two of a year, maybe 2 months a year that are pretty miserable, right? But the other, 9 to 10 are pretty nice. So you've got, when it's in a real hard winter, probably a month of just miserableness,
yeah,
and then in the summer, you get a month of just heat,
yeah.
and so like that's where our challenge is in our area is managing that extreme cold for about a month or so, maybe 30 days worth, spread between a couple months, and then managing that extreme heat, probably a month or so spread between, between a couple months and 30 days of just heat. And so we're in that heat mode right now where it's just
Oh
like
yeah.
a hair dryer blowing on you 24/7.
Yeah, pretty soon we'll be, into August. We'll see some cooler temperatures towards the end of it, and then and hopefully we see a 450 copper in August. We'll see.
A reprieve from the heat and a stronger price. I'm not going to bet on 450 copper. I'm just gonna I'm gonna just keep the stuff moving that we got if I can.
Well, thank you for joining us, Brett. Thank you, everyone. Oh, I got a first comment from Craig Hunter. What's up, Craig?
Craig's making his way to work. Craig's
Yeah,
he's the dude when it comes to tires for us. So glad for him to log in and say hi to us this morning and get your butt back to work.
he's our tire guy. He's killing it over
Mhm.
there. And I'm excited to show everyone a new trailer, a new end dump with some new logos we're rolling out to kind of show everyone what we're doing in Idaho, not just metals, you know.
Yeah.
And that's look, we got some more love from Jake Hansen. Uh, who's Jake Hansen? Let everyone know out there, Brett.
Jake Hansen's our business partner over in Oregon, and B&K is they're starting their marketing on the recycled Oregon side. So alluding to Nick's comment we just had, we got something pretty cool coming with our new end dump that we're gonna unveil. That kind of goes with like our whole theme, our whole marketing thing, right? And I think it's catching on other places. At the end of the day, recycling's fairly localized. Who's handling stuff in your area and in your state, and Jake and Bo, our team over at B&K, they're gonna take recycled Oregon by the horns, and they run a tight ship. They run a good ship over there, and they're pretty proud of what they do. So it's gonna be kind of exciting to see what they do with recycled Oregon.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. Jake and Bo are killing it, and I think we're gonna take Bo and Jake up. We're gonna get them out so everyone can see them. We're gonna get the scrap confidential out in the open, and they'll push it a little harder for them.
Yeah,
Um,
Bo Boston's been working on his podcast for a while now, and it's really good. It's kind of a behind the scenes type deal for him. Like his travels out there on the road, dealing with customers, dealing with equipment. Bo's kind of a guy that grew up in the scrap game, like from a toddler with his grandfather, and so it's
yeah,
pretty. It's a good story, and just he's out there hustling every day. So I think it will resonate with a lot of people that are in our industry that just grew up in it, and they just hustle at it every day. So his podcast coming out is which has been out for a while, but we're going to help him kind of push it out a little farther. It's a good one. It's kind of a for the everyday. I always call it for like the everyday person in our industry, like what they're doing and behind the scenes, and just hearing him talk about it and discuss it. It's good.
and he's super familiar with the ag world. He's got a different little perspective than some other people out there doing, what we're doing. So it's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome to help him push it out a little bit more. So I'm excited to get to work with him a little more
And
on it.
speaking of that too, and Craig, who who chimed in. He's got a podcast talking tires that Recycle Media helps promote. And dude, that's a really good one if you're into the tire recycling business or just trying to understand like the players and who's out there. I mean, that podcast is a really good one. He gets some real heavy hitters in our industry on there. I mean, some real big players. And so, that one's worth checking out if you're just trying to understand different aspects of the tire reclaim podcast. You should go check it out as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, check it out. He's had some awesome guests and he's still growing that thing. He's got some more guests here coming soon. So check it out if you want to learn a little bit more about tire recycling because it is very interesting.
What are you up to today, Nick? What's your plan?
I'm going to Hayburn today, man. I'm gonna after I'm off this, I'm gonna send out. I wasn't hoping to do this, so I gotta send out new price sheets after I'm off this call.
Because let everybody know the good news.
Yeah, the new price sheets are coming to the yards because the copper's dipping like crazy, and then I'm gonna go see Amy, who helps run our Hayburn Twin Falls area. Help her with a few things. I got some iPads and stuff that her drivers are going to be utilizing. So that's what I'm doing. How about you, nice. Brett?
I'm just over here in Vegas with my family. We are my youngest son has a basketball tournament this weekend down here, so we're down here just kind of doing our summer family vacation and start playing some basketball in the next few days, and then we're gonna kind of work our way back home. Go to another national park. We hit a couple of national parks on our way here, Bryce Canyon and then Grand Canyon, and we're gonna go work our way back through Redwoods, Northern California National Park, and go see Alcatraz. Go show my kids where you can be if you fuck up in life. You can be in prison. So work our way home.
So how is Grand Canyon though? I've never been there.
It's awesome, dude. It's I was always telling this to somebody. Like I've been to Vegas probably literally 100 times, right, in my life. Maybe that's an understatement, maybe more. But I've never been to Grand Canyon. I was like, it's always been so close. Oh, you could take a helicopter, you can do this, you can do that. But just to be able to like, go to the national park. We stayed in the park. I woke up in the morning, and I'm like a morning early riser. Like my family's in the hotel room sleeping right now. But I'd wake up hell early, get on my shorts, my workout shirt, and just I would walk the rim. There's a rim trail, and you could walk it. I'd get a cup of coffee and just walk it. It's like a few mile walk, but you can just in the morning. It's nothing like seeing like the sunrise and just getting up and seeing the Grand Canyon, and just it's like. It's pretty tough to beat, man. It's a reason why there's what they say like 9 wonders of the world, and it's that it's one of them. It's just because it's kind of jaw dropping how big it is.
So it's definitely something you recommend for others to do.
Oh yeah. I'm wondering why I waited so long. Bryce Canyon is super cool. I mean I had heard about it, but it's just. I mean, it's crazy. We hiked around there for a day, did a couple different hikes, and I mean, it's hot. Don't get me wrong. This time of year, it'll melt your ass, but it's a good time. It's something you have to see it in your lifetime. Put it on the list.
Okay, cool. Have you guys ever seen the Redwoods?
I have, yeah. I went to school down there for like a year, so I'm familiar with it. But I want my kids to see, kids like. You show them like once you show them like a couple of big trees, you're like, all right, another fucking big tree. But I'm like, you still have to see it, and then you can be like, all right.
Well, it's impressive. I mean, my parents took me down there. I've been down there a bunch ever since I was a kid, and I remember like it's something you have to see with your own eyes, even the redwoods, because it's just the pictures don't do it justice because they are just a different level of big,
Yeah, it is. When you can drive through a tree. Like you can drive through the trunk of a tree, that's a big ass tree,
Exactly.
Well, maybe that's why the markets are screwed up because everybody's out traveling, doing shit, and not who's trading metal or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. But,
did everyone get back to work? I mean, Craig's going to work.
Yeah. Jake's at work. Craig's at work. Somebody's got to be there. Jeez. You're going to work. I guess I'm the only one out here screwing around.
Yeah, it's you get back home and trade some metal with these people, Brett.
All right, man. Well, have safe travels, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.